Yo, what up? It's Donut, and you are tuning in to all your Illuminati news. We got an amazing show today. We got special guests. Yes, we got special guests, but before we start, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. This is the backup channel we'll be posting here for the next month. So make sure you subscribe. We're going to go over a bunch of stuff, but we are with Rice TV with Rice Against the Grain once again. What's going on, bro?
Dude, thank you again for inviting me on. And what I wanted to say before we begin is we're doing this as a collaboration live stream. We're streaming this on your platforms, and we're also streaming this on my new channel, Rice Against the Grain. So the stream is going through successfully. So we have learned that works, which is awesome. So we're live on both of our platforms, or the platforms that you're streaming on. If people are into the crypto and economic content, I definitely encourage people to check out and subscribe to Rice TVX on YouTube. And if you're into my stranger than fiction content, make sure you're subscribed to Rice Against the Grain. If you go to my website, which you see on my name, ricetvx.com, you can sign up for my mailing list, and you'll also find links to all of my channels and all of my social media. And that includes my Rumble channel. I definitely want to take a moment to promote my Rumble and promote your Rumble, Donut, because we're both on Rumble. And you got to support alternative platforms. So I'm looking forward to the conversation. Want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, including you, my friend. And good times. Always good times talking with you, my friend.
Hey, just another day, right? You know, these holidays, just another day. People get emotional over the holidays, especially being in recovery. You got to deal with family, letting them know, hey, I was right about all of my theories. They don't want to accept that. So it could get pretty resentful. What up, Tommy Truffaut up in the building?
Oh, is he watching?
Yeah. He just dropped a new video that is very amazing. Everybody go check out.
You need to
Netflix
connect
Killer.
him and I.
Okay, we'll
You
connect
connected
y'all.
me up with Waters, and the three of us, me, you, and Waters above, need to do a conversation together. But hook me up with Tommy Truthful. Tommy, you can hit me up on my social media. I'd love to talk with you, my friend.
Yes, and we are going to get into secrecy. The JFK assassination took place on the 22nd, right? A couple days ago. Yesterday. And he was known for talking about secret oaths, secret societies, and even the term conspiracy theory became popular into the consciousness. Some say it was the Alphabet Boys. I think it is. I've seen the files.
Well, they won't release the information, so there's obviously something very suspicious.
Something very suspicious. We're going to dive into that. We're going to dive into the UFOs. We're going to dive into a lot of stuff. But this is something I just uncovered, and I want to share it with all y'all. Because we see a lot of people do this Illuminati shush. They're shushing me. I don't like to be shushed. No one likes to be shushed.
Right.
But I figured out what it is.
You were telling me this earlier, and I'm really intrigued. Well, you were telling me that you had done research and you had tried to put together a video for your Patreon channel, but being such a perfectionist that you are, something happened and you weren't able to put out the exact video you wanted, but you were teasing me with information. So I've had to do 2 recordings today, and the whole time I've been recording, I've been thinking in the back of my mind, where does this come from?
Right. So this is what I've uncovered. That shush symbol. I think I got another one right here. It goes into the 4. The 4, the 3, the 7, numerology. And this will start to make sense because these numbers and symbols aren't evil. They're a universal truth, like the trident. The trident, the Trinity, is in all cultures. The 3 doors. Nothing wrong with the symbols. It's just that secret societies use these symbols and they speak symbology. They speak through these symbols, symbolism. And what I've uncovered is the Shush tattoo on Rihanna, who's going to be opening up the Super Bowl ritual, the superb owl, leaving 322 days left in the year. You can see there's 4 letters, SHHH. The 4 is for the 4 elements that create and construct our entire universe. This is, I'm talking like occult stuff. This is what I'm reading in the secret society books like Manly P. Hall, Eliphas Levi, who designed the Baphomet that everyone knows. So this is where I'm getting this information from. It's from the mouths of these occultists. So you got the 4 letters for the Shush. The 4 is the tetrads, the tetragrammaton, the 4 elements, earth, fire, wind, water. This is what constructs our physical reality. And then the 5th element, which is your favorite movie, the 5th element would be spirit. And we got 100 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. If you are just tuning in, we're going over the Illuminati Shush symbolism of what I've uncovered.
Now, that is a legit tattoo, right?
Legit tattoo, and a lot of celebrities have this tattoo.
Because that right there is a Photoshop, but the other version looks, that's why I had to question. You see the difference between the two? One's really dark. And I mean, maybe it's not a Photoshop, but it looks like it is. But I just wanted to ask if it was legit.
Yes, a lot. I think Lindsay Lohan has this tattoo. A lot of these people in Hollywood, in the music industry, have this, or they do that symbol you see on the right, where they're just doing that shush. There's even a statue. Let me see if I can pull that up right here. They even got a statue in New Jersey, a huge one. And then you can see all the artists here on the right, even the Dalai Lama doing the shush symbology. So the numbers are very important. Going into gematria, numbers, numerology. And the 4 is for the 4 powers of the Sphinx. And the 4th one is to keep silent. This is the 4 powers of the Sphinx. This is what Eliphas Levi wrote about. I'll pull up that slide here.
Who is that Eliphas Levi?
He's the guy who created the Baphomet logo. Like you see the Baphomet.
The goat.
The goat. He drew that.
With and like the hand symbology and all the different symbologies that's attached to the entire image that we're very familiar with.
Yes. And even the Yoda in Star Wars is straight off of like imagery that this guy created. So this guy plays a big role in symbolism with Freemasonry and Knights Templar stuff. And this is his book, Transcendental Magic, where he goes over this, the 4. And we're going to get into a lot of this 4 stuff coming up with cryptocurrency. But this is just where I'm getting the information from this Transcendental Magic, Its Doctrine and Ritual by Eliphas Levi.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so you got the 4, but this is a universal truth. I mean, the Pythagoreans used it. The Jews, the Tetragrammaton is God, the Word of God. If you add up all the words of God in the tetra kit, because tetra is 4, it equals 72 in gematria, and that's why there's 72 bricks on the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. So it runs really, really deep. But altogether, there's 7, because you got the 3 dots and the 4 letters. And this is important as well. I mean, I couldn't believe how something so simple like this is so big. Even the HHH looks like a 666. I mean, that too.
The HHH and what factor?
Just the cursive HHH.
The cursive. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. I can totally picture that.
So there's a lot here. The 3 dots of Trinity, but 4 and 7 are very important because the 7 is the 7 days in the week, the 7 deadly sins, 7 continents, 7 chakras. Even the Freemasonic logo is the G, the 7 dwarves, 7 wonders of the world. Because in the middle of the 7 would be 4. So that's why 4 and 7 is important in this. And this is straight out of what they're saying in these books.
Right.
This isn't my so this is what I've uncovered with the Shush Illuminati sign. And it plays a big role. So right here you can see this is how this constructs our reality, going back to Plato, going back to the tetra. Tetra is the 4. So before I get into this next slide here, This is an interesting slide.
No, you got some really good. I love your research, man. I love the presentations you put together.
But so, what's your thoughts on that so far? And we'll go to the audience too and ask them.
I'm really fascinated, but one of the things that kind of struck me was you was just talking about, in a sense, the simplicity of four, and for numbers and symbols to really fully have the effect, I think they need to have that simplicity. I think it's us as humans that overcomplicate the simplicity of these things.
Yeah, may the fourth be with you.
May the fourth be with you. That's interesting too, that you're saying that too, with the power of the elements and such.
Yeah, so this is all where it's coming from. And I mean, even like magical spells, they use the elements of the earth to do stuff. At least that's what I've heard. So this right here, if you look at the 4 and the 3 right here, it looks like 4 when you look at the bottom, but it looks like 3 when you look at the top, right? So our perception, we're limited in our perception somewhat, what we see.
Well, they say the basis of psychology is your perception of reality. So this makes complete sense. And I get where one is arguing that there's 3 and where there's 4 and where the disconnect is.
You notice the BTS, sponsored by Bill Gates, logo right here with the French fries. I always thought it was a 3 because you look at the top of the 3 fries. I thought it was a 33, 33rd degree.
I see 7 fries, I think.
There's 7 fries, yes.
Yeah.
But I saw 3. And I was
like the bottom of the first part to the left on my side looks off compared to the other side. And I always look at differences it's one of my OCD and ADD. I wanted to combine that as all one, which I just combine as TROUBLE.
Now I look deeply into this, so I'm even seeing that 4 and 7, just like the Shush stuff. Even his McDonald's.
Is it 7 or is it 43 though? Is there a significant to either or when it comes to this advertisement? Because I can't say I'm a huge K-pop fan, unlike you, do. And I know that you're a huge K-pop fan.
Oh yeah, you know me though. I go hard.
So I know you know all things BTS. So you can probably tell me what's more significant, whether a 43 or a 7. Which I guess in some gematria sense, the 43 would add up to 7. So either way, 7 maybe is the answer.
Yeah, well, if anybody knows what 43 means, I'm sure Tommy Truthful can get up on this. 43. Oh, 43 equals 7.
So Tommy's the Nephilim killer.
Yeah,
I like that. That's a cool username.
Now we got almost 200 people up in here. Make sure you hit that like button, and we're streaming on 2 different platforms. And make sure to go subscribe over to Rice TV, Rice Above the Grain. Did I say it right?
Against the grain.
Against the grain.
We could be above it, but I like to be against it.
I'm used to saying rise above because that's what you're supposed
Rice
to do
above.
in life.
Rice above.
Rice above the problems.
Rice against.
So BTS, K-pop, right? They play a huge role. Not only are they sponsored by Bill Gates, but even it looks like he's doing the shush with the drink in a sense, but I might be stretching there. But he is opening up performances for the United Nations, right? BTS. And recently they just opened up the ceremony ritual at the football game, the FIFA football game.
The one that was in Qatar?
The one that was in Qatar.
Okay.
And the stadium is the Illuminati Eye.
43 equals Jesus. This is from Josephine Ash on your chat. 43 equals Jesus Christ from a source I was listening to the other day. I'm definitely not the San Francisco treat, but my uncle's name is Ben.
Well, here's the Qatar Stadium. You can see it's Illuminati Eye, just like the CBS logo. You tilt this around, it's the yoni, the vulva, and sexual. And so you see people do that Illuminati hand gesture. A lot of these symbols go back to sex. But this just happened. Yes?
I want to pause you real quick. Looking at that last image with that particular stadium, I was watching a documentary and they had to build 9 or 12 of these. I don't know if you've had a chance to examine each one, but there could be symbology in each one. Being it, and I did notice this one because I thought it was odd because of the different ways the architecture is, but all of them are supposed to be very unique and have really intricate architecture. So I would take an extra look at another time at the additional stadiums, because they literally had to build almost an entire city of stadiums just for the FIFA event to come there.
Oh, wow.
That was something that I learned. I watched it on John Oliver last week. So he was covering that because there's also, it's not really an ideal place to want to do something like this kind of an event because of the locals and the customs of Qatar. So anyways, just a quick side note. I figured that would be more research for you to kind of look into that symbology.
Yeah, it's a very popular sport, soccer. You know, more people watch
Football.
soccer.
You got to get it right. Football.
Yes, it's football.
What we
More
call,
people
and I was
watch.
thinking about that this morning. I don't even understand why we call what we call American football football, because it doesn't really, and it should be called handball, if anything.
Right here, you got 1 billion people watching this football. And then our football, we only get 100 million, you know, watching that. I mean, so it's such a big thing for the world. So
Yeah.
as a American, all we know is football, but soccer is worldwide. That's what
International,
everybody does.
huge. I mean, yeah, you've seen how like the fans of these different teams in different regions are just insane, man. Especially like in the UK. I don't know if you've watched any of like
The hooligans.
Yeah, it gets a little rowdy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's all tribal warfare. One team versus another team, 2 tribes going against each other. But this had weird symbolism that I'll get into a little bit. You got Morgan Freeman, who plays God in all different Hollywood films, even some History Channel. He did the story of God. So he's known as the God figure in Hollywood.
We can call him the Godfather.
The Godfather?
I mean, it kind of makes sense. He's God in every single role. So
he's in God in every single role. And
well, not every role, but you get what I'm saying. He definitely portrays God in a lot of type of roles. The story of God, he does like voiceovers for things like that. It's interesting what they've got him involved in. I'd like to look into his background a little bit.
Yes, I want to look into his background too. But he's doing the Da Vinci Code. You know, the Da Vinci Code is all about the Illuminati. He's doing the Da Vinci painting of the touching of the hands and the fingers of God, even in the ceremony.
Mm.
And another just side note.
They would call that blasphemous. We don't use that word enough these days.
Blasphemous. Well, he also quoted Corinthians 5:1. And 5:1 is that Illuminati number 5:1. And so I thought that was interesting too.
You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I thought you froze up there for a second.
Oh,
what was, can I see that scripture again? What it said, what it read. So 2 Corinthians 5:1, this is the New International Version. For we know that if the earthly tent we live in is destroyed, we have a building from God, an eternal house in heaven, not built by human hands. Yeah, wonder what that was. Was that used in reference to a movie, or where did he say the quote?
No, he said this when he was being God.
Oh, okay.
during this ritual. And I mean, the Da Vinci Code is the one who drew that painting up here. And there's a show called Ted Lasso, which is about soccer, just like this is all about soccer. And Ted Lasso wrapped up season 3 on November 18th, the 322 day, the day the Illuminati founder died. In that show, they're speaking about the Da Vinci Code and the Knights Templars all throughout the show. In episode The Curse, they all make a sacrifice for this curse that happened on November 18th, the 322 day. So just wild.
No, it is. It's interesting too how a lot of the events take place on these significant days as well.
I'm happy that you just brought that up because we are in a significant date today, the 23rd.
Today is my daughter's birthday. That's very significant for me.
Oh,
So,
what?
what is the significance of?
Happy birthday,
Yeah, she's
Little
well, she's
Rice.
22 Little Rice, but yeah.
That's amazing. Happy birthday. Well, her birthday lands on a new moon. One of 5 new supermoons in a row starting today. And you got the 5-1 in there too. I mean, the 5-1's everywhere. I'm sure there'll be some rituals because we got 5 new moons and it starts today.
Wow. And
Yeah.
a new moon will last like basically roughly 2 days.
Yeah. There's like
the energy and the effects of it are usually like kind of a 48-hour time period, roughly, give or
yeah.
take.
What I heard is that they last a long time. Like there's a shadow period, like a week after it and a week before it. So I mean, it gets really deep with it. But you can see that it's November 23rd, December 23rd, January 21st. All these new moons. And I read somewhere that the Illuminati meet every new moon. I don't know where I sourced that from. I just remember it in my head, hearing
Well,
that.
if we have any Illuminati members who happen to be watching, would you mind commenting in today's live chat if you guys have any sort of secret special meeting that you guys do on new moons? That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Illuminati. You never know who's watching. You never know who's willing to give up a little nugget of truth every once in a while. So we'll see.
Well, this is the backup channel, so I don't think they're subscribed to the backup channel.
If it's the 3 letters, they know everything that you do, my friend.
That's true. That's true. So also something interesting that's happening in the heavens above is on January 12th, there'll be a comet that's going to be passing by or something like that. Now, comets are interesting because they blamed the bubonic plague on Halley's Comet. Halley's Comet was a big thing on pretty much destruction. So a comet's coming by.
I wasn't aware of that. Or
I wasn't either.
I don't remember. One of the two.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it either. I thought that was interesting. I was listening and I was like, wow, I got to bring that up in the show and sound smart.
You always sound smart. You don't have to sound smart, man.
Well, I was trying to make a video and I was not doing well at all. I've been working hard on a video, which I'm doing this video right now. It's all the
but
stuff
being
I'm
a
talking about now.
being a perfectionist doesn't help all the time either, my friend. You know, not making sure that you have every single word correct and all that stuff. You know, we are humans and we do make mistakes. And
yeah, it's an insecurity I got. That's what perfectionism is.
Well, I told you should not be insecure, but your insecureness keeps you going and keeps motivating you. So,
yes. So we're going to get into FTX as well. We're going to get into a lot of different stuff. We're going to keep on going. Like, can you see this still? Okay.
Yep.
Can. So they're talking about the railroad strikes again. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I've heard something about this happening again, like where they've given out information about their demands or something to that effect. I haven't followed up any further. This is United States related, correct?
Yeah. It's one of the biggest railroad places was like, we're not accepting your offer and we're going to strike.
Which there was talk about this about 3 months or so ago about possible strikes within the train industry. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page with that.
Yeah. So I put out a video and I was saying how the American Trucking Association president / CEO, he said it better to do the strike 3 months ago than in November. And now they're talking about it in November, like, oh, but this whole strike stuff in these unions, there's so much occult stuff, like the elections in Nevada. This lady won, and she was speaking at one of these unions acceptance speech, and you can see it's the Freemasonic compass in the middle of this union. So, I mean, their symbols are like super connected to secret societies. And I'm going to get into the whole JFK thing and all these presidents because the Freemasons, secret societies play a huge role in this UFO file that JFK might have had. And it's very weird. And it gets into John Trump as well. Donald Trump's
uncle.
Yeah, nuclear uncle who went to MIT.
Who's friends with Nikolai Tesla, correct?
Well, I don't know if he was
Well, there
friends
was
with him, but he
there,
got all of his studies.
I had heard, and I don't know what the truth of it is, that they had worked in collaboration with building. Yeah, I forget the name of the building. It's a building in New York that has its own power station,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
and
that's
it,
what it
and
is.
and it, some people suspect that there could have been possible time traveling devices, equipment in the tower itself. It's like the New York Tower. I can't remember the name. If somebody who's watching knows what I'm talking about, that'd be greatly appreciated. But supposedly before Tesla's death, there was relationship between the two.
Wow.
I can't confirm 100% that what I'm saying is 100% accurate, but this is what I've looked into without doing like deep dive research.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that.
That's where the whole time traveling thing kind of got deep with the Trump stuff, and you kind of look at the books that came out back in the late 1800s, I believe.
Yeah.
The last president or something, and the president's name was Trump, and then there was the Adventures of Baron von Trump or something to that effect, and very interesting when you kind of look at the possibilities of what Tesla could have had as far as technology and the relationship between Trump's uncle, and then seeing those books and seeing Trump and all the stuff going on, just really mind blowing.
Yeah. And then this whole raid that happened at Mar-a-Lago, the day 8/8, which is Tommy Truthful talks about that deeply about the Lionsgate portal and 8/8 and all this. But also Nixon, that was the day he resigned and did his resignation speech is on 8/8, the day that the FBI, who had connections with Epstein, the guy who put it on, there was a weird thing there, to go search their house for the nuclear documents. They didn't find any nuclear documents. And some researchers are pointing to a UFO file, which is really interesting. And the more I look into the UFO stuff, which could just be a big distraction,
Hmm.
you know, because I don't know.
A psyop per se, where maybe they don't want to release what kind of technologies that we actually have, so they try to hide it by pretending like it could be something otherworldly.
Right, right. So this is where it gets weird. Total psyop. I'll just kind of go into these slides real quick, and just see what you think about what I'm uncovering. Is that they raided his house on 8/8, the day Nixon did it. They're looking for nuclear documents. They didn't find any nuclear documents. And these UFO files are being released. You got the 1,500 pages of the UAPs that they're sending out. You had Storm Area 51 right before the world got locked down. Even the 1,500 pages got the 5-1 in there. Oh, this is funny. The JFK, you know about this? This kind of off topic, but JFK, this guy Charles Harrelson, who is Woody Harrelson's dad,
I
he was
didn't I didn't know there was any connection to Woody Harrelson's dad and JFK.
well, Woody Harrelson's dad was accused of whacking JFK.
This is one person that I don't remember. I just never heard of this. I just always thought it was um what was the guy's name who was kind of framed for it? Lee Harvey
Oswald.
Oswald.
hmm Yeah, so this came out before Lee Harvey Oswald, where he like came out saying that he assassinated the president and a federal judge that he actually did. I think I don't really know, but I
I
just
had
think it's
no clue that's Woody Harrelson's dad. And then when you think about Woody Harrelson when he first came out on Cheers, and he seemed like this. I don't know if you watched Woody Harrelson on Cheers, but that character was like wholesome and like very American. It was like I think he might like someone like who was like an adult virgin. It was just a really wholesome character that seemed to be untainted by the evilness of our and darkness of our current existence on this planet Earth.
and then Natural Born Killers came out, and that all changed.
That's
That
a
was a great film.
great film.
Yeah.
Don't watch it on LSD.
No way.
Not a
No
good idea.
way. That'd be a trip. It's enough. You don't need to have LSD to watch it. So we almost got 300 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. This is the backup channel. Make sure you go to Rice Against the Grain as well and Rice TV and subscribe there. And support us. Where's a good place to? So we're going to keep going. We just
Yeah.
got to do a little plug. The best place to support me right now is on that Patreon. We be releasing that good content, and I'm going to be doing some really, really amazing releases next month, which I'll tell y'all more about next month. But where can people support you at?
On Patreon as well. I know that we are both patrons of one another. So we both are patrons on each other's Patreon channel. So people can find me, Rice TVX, on Patreon. And that's also something that you can find the link on at ricetvx.com. And the first thing that will pop up is a sign up for my newsletter. I encourage you to do that. I don't know if you have a newsletter, but newsletters are important, and we need to make sure that we're staying connected with our communities. I'm having a hard time myself being able to let my subscribers know that I have a new channel. And most of my subscribers are fans of the content that I moved over to a new channel. And I can't even get that message out to people because of how YouTube and the algorithm works. So sharing videos, whether it's Donut, my stuff, whether it's other content creators that you like, if you share, if you like, if you comment, you're subscribed, all those kind of things help us to fight the YouTube algorithm. So I would throw that in there.
Right. Yeah, I do have a newsletter as well, and that's a very important to sign up to the newsletter. So I'm gonna get back into this. Oh, we got the 17.
That's
we
my
hear
favorite
about,
magazine.
Well, this came out in 1944. This was a post-war magazine, or like during the war, 1944, right, to 1946. And this is pretty much brainwashing to keep people 17 for a long time to their 30s. And then they end up like me saying, yo, what up? It's Donut. But I mean, just the name 17. That's
it sounds
cute, right?
promiscuous.
Oh, it does. Yes, that too.
It would make more sense if it was like young woman or women today or something like that. But yeah, this is very promiscuous in a sense. I mean, I understand it's for teenagers, but 17 is specific number. It could have just been something like teen, teen magazine or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting things when you go back to even that 40s time period, like the image that they were pushing on television programming with the different kinds of families. I think you can agree, most people watching can agree, most sitcoms that we grew up on didn't seem like actual reality. If that, except for when Married with Children came out, and then it started seeming like, oh yeah, this is how life, this is more on par with where we are. But like Leave It to Beaver, that was, and then even take it a step further, if you want to talk about the programming with television sitcom shows, then you can see I don't know what you would call it, but the relationship between what took place on the Brady Bunch with two families combining. There's a word for that. And then they started pushing for women working, where back in the old 40s TV shows, it was like woman was at home being a mother, being all wholesome, while the husband was out working and cheating and all that stuff.
Yeah, even the Brady Bunch, like they came out dancing on the checkerboard floor. So you see the symbolism there, and they got pentagrams all behind them. If you look that up, also like the Brady Bunch, when it starts, it's the 9 squares. So they're all in the different squares. That's total symbolism right there.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't have even thought about that. And that's the kind of research that you do that I appreciate, man.
Yeah.
Dissecting the Brady Bunch.
I don't think anybody's dissected.
I don't even know if I want to watch television or a movie with you. You'd probably be pausing it so much, looking at symbolism or telling somebody, hey, that's what that means.
Yeah, well, I'm not good to watch shows or TV with not because of the symbolism thing, but because I'm like, yo, look at that light there. I point out all the defects in the
the
film.
defects.
I'm like, oh, they're that's misplaced right there. They broke the rule right there, you know. So I'm no fun with that. Or listen to that propaganda message. They're telling me to be stupid, like what you're saying about these characters, Homer Simpsons and stuff like that. Family Guy, Peter Griffin. They make the father figure pretty like dumbed down. You know, so there's definitely social engineering there.
Somebody in your chat was saying, I was trying to find a comment, something about the girl on the picture on the 17 magazine looks like a guy.
Demi Lovato?
But it's Demi Lovato, and doesn't she identify as, I don't know, is she non-binary? Is that what she considers herself?
Let's take a look.
She did consider herself at one point, I thought, to be.
Oh, look, she's doing the shush.
Oh.
I mean, they do this everywhere. The shush.
Yeah, she's going through some weird identity phase, and I'm not sure what she's identifying as. But I don't think it's as a traditional female.
Well, she started off in Barney and Friends, and you know what Barney does now? The purple dinosaur.
Like currently, since the show.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a while.
He's a crack dealer in the hood now, down the street from where I live.
Oh, bro, he does sex classes.
Bonnie does that. Well, that is interesting.
It's interesting.
Let me see here.
Yeah, look that up. I'm not gonna look it up. Some weird stuff will pop up on my.
Oh, I love messing with Google.
So going back to that 17 a little bit, you know, there was just a terrible tragedy at this club. And
he identifies as a pansexual, non-binary, pansexual, whatever the hell that means.
Demi Lovato.
Yeah. So she's a non-binary pansexual. I don't know if that's an oxymoron, what that means. If we have any other particular non-binary pansexuals, and you can explain what that means. She uses she, they pronouns.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do these days. That's just where we're at right now.
Do you have pronouns that you use?
Yeah, I'm donut.
Dough and nut.
Yeah, how dare you say I'm not a donut? I identify as donut. No. Well, I mean, I hang out with a wide variety of different ages. Like a lot of my friends, they're all like in their 60s, 70s, 80s, right? And then I'll hang out with younger people too, because I'm in recovery. So there's just a wide variety of different people, and a lot of the Gen Z. That's normal. Like, it's not like for us, it's like nobody said that, but for Gen Z, that's a total normal thing now. And it's very confusing for me. I'm old and stupid.
Yeah, I like traditional things.
It just keeps it simpler.
Yeah.
But Pan, you know, the whole world went down lockdown because of a Pan thing. Pan, where we get the idea of the devil with the horn.
The Baphomet, I believe, too, is very Pan related.
It is, yes. Pan is a god with horns and hooves, and it was pagan, and it was the god of nature and sexuality. And this is where we get the whole idea of the devil having the horns. It comes from Pan and Peter Pan. Peter Pan is named after this Pan god.
Yeah, I've heard that. I just don't. I don't see aside from the name, I don't see the connection
to Peter Pan.
I mean, Peter Pan didn't necessarily lead children away to Never Never Land, where the Pan kind of was like a Pied Piper leading children or mice away from something. So I didn't see that comparison. I didn't really understand it.
I'm gonna have to watch it again because they were getting in fights with the pirates, and you got the Pirates of the Caribbean and all that.
Right. I mean, I'm sure there's more to the symbology, especially coming out from Disney aspect as well.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. So Mickey Mouse's birthday is the Illuminati Day, November 18th. Mickey and Minnie Mouse's birthday's on the 322 day.
And was Walt Disney a known Freemason?
Not only was Walt Disney a Freemason with the 33 Club at Disneyland and his connections to Operation Paperclip, this UFO file stuff, Werner von Braun was working directly with Disney. Man, I wish I
Disney,
had that slide.
dirty Disney.
Disney got the 666 in the logo, and also Mickey, as above, so below. It says Wicked when you put it up to a mirror.
With that particular style of writing and font, 100%, yeah. But you can't just mimic that in it, like just writing it and looking at the mirror. I tried doing
No.
backmasking. You got to be very specific in these things.
And all these people come, like these stars come from this Disney.
Ooh,
Like,
M is 33 sideways.
yeah, M is 33 sideways, like Eminem,
like Mickey Mouse.
like Mickey Mouse. Oh yeah, good call.
Well, that was
there.
Jesus is Lord forever. Great
Or
username.
modern warfare too. Okay, so to get into the 17 a little bit, there's the A17 file. So Ghislaine Maxwell, there's a ghost that haunts her in her cell, and she named it A17. And during this Mar-a-Lago raid, Trump had a box called A17. And then I believe it was 15 boxes. So it's that 5-1 number. That'd be so the 17 number, like the 17 magazine and all this. This is interesting. Vannevar Bush. John Trump was his protege, right? I wrote this down just so I won't forget it. Vannevar Bush was here, I'm going to just open it up and read it.
Was he of the Bush family? Did you happen to research if he's like of that Bush family, or
No,
is he just a Bush?
He's not of that Bush family, but he's just a Bush. But,
Okay.
Bush is connected with the Mithra cult.
Oh, I know what Bushes are connected with.
Aleister Crowley and Bushes are also connected to the Illuminati
Sure enough.
triangle. So Vannevar Bush, he was a Freemason, worshipful master at MIT Grand Lodge. John Trump was his protege, and John Trump went to MIT as well. And this goes into the Manhattan Projects. And Vannevar Bush, was rumored to have investigated the UFO activity during Roswell in 1947. The presidential transition to John F. Kennedy, Kennedy was whacked, but the person who did this transition was Dwight D. Eisenhower. It's also part of the secret societies that JFK talked about, these secret societies. And Ike, there were stories coming out that he was meeting with alien ambassadors. And it took place on February 20th, which is the 5-1 day of the year, 5-1, Area 5-1, Illuminati 5-1. The Roswell incident crashed near this naughty word.
That is a naughty word.
In
Cerveza.
In 1947. So you could just see these dates. The 33rd president of the United States. This happened when he was in president. Harry Truman. He was also part of these secret societies. When this
hidden hand.
With the hidden hand, with this alien information. And then Henry Wallace, who died November 18th, the day Mickey Mouse was born, the Illuminati Day, 322 Day. He died this day. He's the guy who gave us the New World Order pyramid on the back of the dollar certificate.
It didn't exist prior to his
no,
time
not
in
on
office?
not on the silver certificate. It was on the coinage, but it wasn't on the silver certificate. And he was part of the Theosophical Society with Helen Blavatsky stuff, and he was the 33rd president as well. He was a 32nd degree Mason with 32nd degree with Franklin FDR, who was also a 32nd degree. And then you got Tom DeLonge, who's also Freemason. You can see all of his Freemason stuff everywhere. And he's the guy who released the UAP files, the alien aircrafts that we're hearing about today, these alien files.
Yeah, like so, that with the thing with that, like they're just gonna let some random singer in some mainstream pop punk band release top secret information. There's definitely has to be more to that. And him having ties to, the Freemasons makes sense that he and his sense would have been chosen, because again, I don't just see musicians just randomly releasing information that would be considered to be top secret information or something that's dealing with security of a nation.
Yeah, absolutely. These actors and musicians play a huge role in the counterculture, the movements. People love celebrities. Like, I mean, they're the ones who influence. They're the influencers. But so there's no real point to everything I just showed. I just kind of showing the dots. They need to be connected, and that's what's going on. But there's secret societies connected with this whole UFO stuff, which is wild.
Well, it's interesting too that all the information that so far you brought up, I've done it. I've told you, I know that you've checked out Archaic's YouTube channel. He does some interesting isotopic or isotropic data where you have a center point that you can use as a reference. And I'm not sure how he comes up to these center point dates, but you can go back X amount of years, X amount of months, whatever, and go forward equal X amount of years, days, months, whatever, and you can find correlating events. So you talked about Nixon, and you talked about the Mar-a-Lago raid. The Nixon situation was very similar in an isotopic range, and I can't remember, I think it was 1998 that he was using. I may be off, but it's in my interviews with him that's on Rice Against the Grain and Rice TVX. I find that interesting because of the information that you're sharing. So I do see connections in all this. And it's also really interesting that with everything that we're discussing, which is about symbology and where the timing of it lies, because yesterday was the anniversary of JFK's assassination. So it's just, I do find connections in the majority of everything that you've been sharing today, whether people have connected those dots or not. Hopefully this will add that extra element to that.
Yeah. So we're really amazing the way our brains work in finding this stuff, but we are coming up on 300 viewers. So make sure you hit that like button. This is the backup channel. We on the backup channel. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. But this is how great we showed the perception, how our perception is off a little bit. But just read this. This is how great our brain works. We can
my
read
brain
it.
is really good. According to the research at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter in what order the letters or words are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be at the right place. The rest can be a total mess and you can still read it without problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the whole word as a whole. But the word as a whole. I messed up the very end there, but as you can see, I could read this very clear and everybody else should be able to, because brains are very fascinating.
Yeah.
They are. It's a miracle what brains can do.
Yeah, we're a miracle. The placebo effect, everything that we do, we're like really amazing. And we're, I believe, taught to feel insecure and to have a lack of spirituality. I think spirituality gets real messed up at a young age. Just so many different things that would bring confidence. It's all screwed up,
Well, that's why, as your friend, I try as much as I can to incite as much confidence in what you do and try to alleviate any of the fears and mishaps that you might think about yourself that are human. Yeah, I appreciate what you do.
I'm a miracle, bro.
Having self-doubts, though, you are Donut is a YouTube miracle.
Thank you.
That's sweet.
I'm a rainbow baby.
This YouTube miracle is close to getting his YouTube plaque over there. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the main channel,
no, don't go subscribe there. No, I don't want any more subscribers over there.
But how do you get that 100,000 plaque if you don't get more subscribers to get to 100,000, homie?
If I drop one video, I'll hit the 100K mark on
you'll
that
hit.
channel.
I mean, you'll still with just the after effect. I think you'll still hit it, but. Nonetheless, I appreciate what you do. And I think, it's important for friends to uplift each other spiritually and otherwise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I forget what I was gonna say. I was just trying
There's
to.
something about reading those letters and how the brain works.
Yeah, so we're really amazing. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that they name everything like Black's Law. We're monsters. We're monsters because we can't own land. We can't hear land. We're not part of the Commonwealth. And our DNA is junk DNA. That's what they call it, junk DNA, and the gross anatomy, and gross is monstrous. So even to that extent, it's weird. If this is weird, I got a lozenge in my mouth. That's why. So let's talk a little bit about crypto, and I'm gonna connect it to this four as well. The Economist magazine, which is the Knights Templar colors, Evelyn Rothschild passed away November 8th, the day the blood moon took place.
Did you
He was,
find that out because of the text I sent you?
I'm not sure. I
Okay.
think so. Probably.
Because I wanted to make sure you were aware of that, because you did a video, I think, either on your YouTube channel or your Patreon talking about that date, and I had noticed that Big Daddy Rothschild passed away.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's from you. So this is why I got to bring it up with you. So, but for the audience that doesn't know, Evelyn Rothschild was the chairman of the Economist magazine when they released the cryptocurrency Economist magazine that's so popular from 33, 34 years ago. That was under Evelyn Rothschild, who passed away. And then right after his passing, this was the next one, crypto's downfall, right after the FTX thing happened on 9/11, because Novum, 7/11, Novum is 9. Excuse me. But it's falling into the four corners. This is the Navajo Nation, the comets falling. We were talking about the comets in the beginning that brought Halley's Comet, bringing the bubonic plague. And the cryptos are falling down into the Navajo Nation, which is the four corners: Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico. Going into that whole four thing is the four elements. What's your thoughts on crypto right now? Just this magazine alone. I know
Well,
you just recently spoke at the Litecoin conference.
yeah, I'm kind of confused a little bit as to what the connection with the four corners aspect might be with crypto.
There is no connection yet. This is
Okay.
just something I'm looking at.
All right. No, just
Yeah.
okay. As far as crypto, and it's interesting, this article came out November 9th. I think I remember Elon Musk tweeting things about 7-Eleven, and then some people were inverting that to 11/7, and 11/7 was the beginning of the downfall, more or less, of the FTX issue. That's when CZ from Binance talked about selling FTT tokens, and then all the stuff that kind of pursued the following day on election day, which was also early that morning, we had a lunar eclipse. Now, interestingly enough, you hooked me up with Waters Above. We did a second conversation recently. That's on Rice TVX because that's focused on cryptocurrency. I encourage people to check that one out because we talk about FTX. We also talk about how lunar and solar phases affect cryptocurrency. So we just experienced the lunar eclipse on the 8th, which was the day that we've seen FTX collapse, become insolvent, and issues would begin with that. What's really interesting is the last lunar eclipse, per Waters Above, and I looked this up, is when a Terra Luna collapse took place. Talking to my friend Bitboy Crypto, Ben Armstrong from the channel, he says that FTX was directly responsible for the downfall of Terra Luna. So it's interesting that both events took place on lunar eclipses, and there's connections within it. What is going on with the FTX situation is not good for crypto overall because of how it's being portrayed to the mainstream. Because this is not a problem with the technology itself, like Bitcoin or any of the cryptocurrencies or blockchain technology. This is a human greed issue. This is corrupt individuals who were doing the wrong thing. And then we're seeing where they were, FTX and Alameda as companies were sabotaging other cryptocurrency projects. And there's enough people coming forward that they can bring enough criminal evidence to bring criminal charges against FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. And then we have the possible collusion with the Ukraine. I want to be careful here with the Ukraine partnership and possible laundering of bills with the demos of the crap party. Then there's also corruption potentially with the SEC and Gary Gensler. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how our legal system works when it comes to this. And ultimately it gets the entities that have been having problems in crypto that are getting all the bad negative press, like your Celsius, your Voyager, and your FTX. The one thing those three entities and all these entities that are having insolvency issues is they're all centralized companies. And that is not what cryptocurrency was about. So this legacy system, the traditional financial system trying to infiltrate itself in crypto has not been a very good experiment for them. So hopefully it gets us back to the original ethos of what cryptocurrency was created for, which was peer-to-peer, to be disruptive against banks and governments. That's why I got involved in crypto. So in a way, I look at this as being a good opportunity for crypto to kind of come to the forefront. There's people getting involved in politics to help shape positive legislation. There's people contacting their congressmen, their senators, their politicians. There's a great deal of decentralized research that's taking place where people are releasing information about all the different downfalls that's happening with FTX, Alameda, all the people involved. Because to even go deeper with the corruption and stuff, when I said SEC and Gary Gensler was an MIT professor. Before that, he was the chairman of the commodities CFTC, which is a government agency that deals with commodities. Then he took a professorship position at MIT. His boss was a guy named Glenn Ellison. He's the department head of the Department of Economics at MIT. His daughter is Caroline Ellison, who is the CEO of Alameda. She was in some sort of sexual and business relationships with Sam Bankman-Fried, and Sam Bankman-Fried met regularly with Gary Gensler. If you can't see the connection there, that's pretty corrupt.
They're both part of the MIT deep state.
And then MIT is also involved with the Project Hamilton, which is trying to create a digital dollar type project. So there's a lot of really interesting things that come into play, but ultimately it shows the negativity of centralized entities. And that's what crypto is created for, was so that you could possess the cryptocurrency yourself, so that you could self-custody these things.
Right.
I sent you something in the mail that you got today, which is a cold storage wallet that you can store your cryptocurrencies on. And it's important that we have control of our cryptocurrencies, meaning that we have control and possession of our private keys, and we're not using custodial services or leaving our cryptocurrency on exchanges, because you could have insolvency issues that have already happened with exchanges that could come up, because we're not sure of what companies have been exposed to FTX and how deep this goes and how much it's going to affect the industry. But ultimately, I believe in the technology. And we've talked about this many times before. Crypto is the answer against CBDCs. Someone's talking about crypto programming for the coming beast system. I don't agree. Crypto is the answer for us to get away from the coming beast system. Crypto is a tool. Blockchain is a tool, and it's equally the problem and the solution. And you can look at any tool being the same way, whether it's a
double-edged sword. It's just like the internet. The internet's fantastic, right? But now we can see the clamping down.
And when you see a CBDC, programmable money, that could have an expiration where if you're not doing what you're told, they could not let you spend money, have complete control over you with that aspect. And then you can look at something like Bitcoin, which is decentralized and permissionless and immutable. And there's a big difference between the two. And I don't believe that cryptocurrency is gearing us up for a CBDC society, because at this point, there's no way of putting Bitcoin back in the bag.
And if you just tune in, you don't know who we're talking to right here. I mean, we're talking to someone who has talked with John McAfee. You've spoken
a few times. Yeah, him and his wife as well.
Yeah, so you've been in you know what you're talking about with the stuff. So the World Economic Forum, FTX was a part of the World Economic Forum. FTX is part of
No, because they don't want you to know that anymore. Don't you
Well,
remember? They
yeah,
scrubbed it from the internet. Now, come
they
on,
took it off the internet.
use their
I thought you
symbols.
heard something. I thought you were like, yo,
Shh,
dog.
no, no, you got to use their
They
symbols
hear.
now. You,
Oh, we
you-
did
we
the
don't
shoot. We
we
can't do
don't
that.
talk
That's
about
where it kicked out.
FTX with WEF anymore. Okay,
Okay, so but they were
just
part.
like they did the same thing with Putin. WEF. You know, because
And
he was.
was it Ripple too? Brad Garlinghouse part
Well,
of
they are a
Gematria?
partner. They haven't dismissed Ripple because there's no problems with Ripple. And Brad Garlinghouse is on the board of directors, I believe.
So we got Brad Garlinghouse, part of this WEF. That's Ripple XRP that I talk about here probably the most. And then you got this FTX, part of the World Economic Forum as well. They're both getting in trouble. They're both getting spanked.
Ukraine. Zelensky spoke at the last Davos, and Ukraine, I believe, is a part of the World Economic Forum. And I think Zelensky is one of the, I don't think he's part of the young global leaders, but I know he was associated with the World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
So there's connections there as well.
So just the whole thing of it's a storyline being played out. Like it's just it seems like a storyline being played out to me.
And
And they
it's
want
deep.
to push the CBDCs. That's what they want.
I think they want to try to utilize this event to try to put forth stricter regulations for cryptocurrency, which isn't going to be good for the nation as a whole, for the future of the nation and for the nation presently. So, you know, again, people are pushing for positive legislation that's going to be going in a more proactive direction, because Sam Bankman-Fried, one of the things that he was doing prior to all of this fiasco was working with Chuck Schumer and trying to help shape legislation on a federal level that would have benefited what FTX was doing as an exchange, and almost make them kind of like king of the hill, where the regulation was geared towards what they were doing. And it really would have stifled the cryptocurrency industry in the United States and put us behind the rest of the world. And this is here. So, I mean, the United States needs to embrace it, and we need to be one of the forerunners in these technologies for us to remain relevant if we want to remain relevant, in my opinion.
And Klaus Schwab just said that we need a model after China, though.
And Klaus Schwab also said that if you haven't taken time to give this video a thumbs up, that you also need to do so. But I didn't do it in his accent. I don't know. Should I try that?
Yeah, do it in his accent. I do it every time it hits 100 more.
I don't really
people.
do a really good one, but no, I'm not even gonna attempt it, man.
I don't even know what he sounds like. So what
eat the bugs.
Where should we take this conversation? We go to some questions. Should we go to some questions?
Yeah, I'm totally up for that. I'm good to go for roughly another 30 or so minutes, and I'm up for questions.
All right, we'll just do it. We're gonna do a little couple questions, and then we gonna log off. That's what we're gonna do. So put your questions in.
I want to wish everybody, again, if you're in the United States and you celebrate Thanksgiving, I do want to wish you happy Thanksgiving. And I do want to encourage you, instead of celebrating a day of thanks one time a year, I challenge you for the next 7 days, one full week, wake up every day and think of one thing that you're thankful for, and see how it sets your tone for your day. And if it makes your day any better, make every day an attitude for gratitude.
Absolutely. Once you're in the attitude of gratitude, what did we log into? We thought we would gain the secrets of the Illuminati, and we talk about the attitude of gratitude.
Got to be positive. Got to throw in some education and stuff like that every once in a while, and some good wisdom.
It's the truth. It's the truth. We going into that truth stuff. Yeah, shout out to Call Me Kinfolk. It was just his birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy late birthday. Happy born day.
Happy born day. Gratitude puts you in abundance. So if you're not grateful for what you got, why are you going to be happier with anything else? So being in that gratitude is good.
I want to let the people know that are watching on my channel that that our live chat is not aggregated into one central chat. So I have to look at my stuff separately, and it's hard for me to respond to people. I don't see any questions other than what did I miss, and I would just encourage you to go back to the beginning of the video and just watch. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I think it's a good video, and I think it's worth going back and starting over.
Yeah, I think it was a good video. All right. Well, I guess we could just wrap it up.
No
You know,
questions?
no questions. Everyone's just happy it's Thanksgiving. So it's Donut. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you go to Rice TV, check out all of his stuff in his brand new channel. I got the link down in the description. Make
Rice
sure you go
against the grain.
Rice Against the Grain. He also was streaming this over there as well. So if you over there at Rice Against the Grain, come on over here.
We do have a question of, have you seen Rihanna's new video? And I didn't know that. I don't follow Rihanna. I didn't know she dropped a new song. Are you familiar with what video might
I
be
did see it.
mentioning?
Yeah, I did see it. It's like
Is there
I
tons
did.
of symbolism in it?
Yeah, I did see it. It bored me, so I turned it off. But I did see it.
Tommy Truthful, I'll drop my email, and if you're on Telegram, you can message me at Rice TVX on Telegram. Otherwise, I'll drop you my email in the live chat on Donut's channel.
Okay, so I'm gonna check out the. I haven't seen that video, so Danielle, I'll go check that out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to know more about the symbolism when it comes to that. I mean, there's so much happening, and there's so many people doing so many interesting things that it's like every direction you look, there's something to talk about, and it's like all culminating. So it's like, really, I guess before we wrap it up, is like, where do you think this is all escalating to, and why do you think there's such a rampant uptake of all these actions? Like, how many different hip hop artists have been killed that look like it could be some sort of ritualistic event just in the last year? Why is all this stuff starting to ramp up? Why are we having more and more frequent events taking place? Why is everybody shushing and doing this? What's going on? Like, do you have like any sort of insight where you think this is headed in any direction?
Yeah, it's just these sacrifices have been going on since the beginning of time, pretty much. You know, people would
Yeah, but it's
sacrifice.
like it seems to be speeding up and escalating. Like it didn't, like there's more happening in a shorter span of time than it was happening. It's like things were happening a lot slower and now it's increasing. And at some point, it's like it's going to pop off. What are we coming towards?
Yeah, I mean, I think just back, like, for example, this is the day that music died. Buddy Holly died in a plane crash, just like JFK Jr. died in a plane crash. And this was his poster that he released, which has the four cardinal corners, the four that we're talking about, the four corners. And then he was sacrificed right after this poster. And that was the day music died. And a lot of people only knew a couple artists like Elvis and the Doors and the Beatles, all of them getting whacked or sacrificed, you know, these big celebrities. And now today, there's more people on the planet and we got the internet. So a lot of stuff. So it's probably because they got to just keep hitting us with fear. It's just a different time psychologically. That's what I think. If that makes any sense. Maybe I didn't make any sense.
No, it totally does. I was just reading something on my live chat. I want to encourage people, if you're going like on YouTube, whether a computer or phone, and you type in Donut and you're looking for Donut's backup channel, you're only going to, what's come up for me every time I've done this on multiple ways, you're only going to come up with his main channel. So what you need to do is go into the filters and select channel. And then it's like the fifth or sixth one down. It's got like 10,500 subscribers or so. It is just called just Donut. So, but you can't find it just by searching Donut. They don't want you to find the second Donut channel. They want you to subscribe to the main channel. But somebody was asking, and if you go into your filters and select channel, it will come up and you can subscribe to his backup channel. Because I know that you told me you're going to be a lot more active on this channel, the backup channel, versus the main channel because of the strike that you got. And also, I'd like to know, when the hell is your strike end? Because mine, I think, ends the 28th of December.
Yeah, me too. December.
So
right
we're about
there.
the same
Yeah.
time period. Okay.
Yeah. So
So
after December,
2023, everything's coming. You're going to be busting out full on, hopefully monetized and getting that plaque and everything on the main channel, and
yeah,
getting more and more famous and get more and more pressure put on you so you can have more and more doubt about yourself.
yeah, I'm gonna bring it to next level, bro. I'm gonna be doing I want to do this glitter conspiracy because it's super mainstream. So I'm gonna
At
do like
first, I
some.
thought it was rice, and I thought it was the beast with a hand of rice. It looks like what's his name?
Oh, it does look like that, but that's two different
I'm
pictures.
drawing a blank on his name though. It's not Aleister Crowley. It's Aleister Crowley. It kind of
Probably
looks like Aleister
it
Crowley-esque,
does.
and
It
it looks like a
does.
handful of rice.
Yeah. So yeah, I got a lot of big plans for that channel, making really big, dope videos. I really want to bring the art back into it, like dope production quality and all that. But yeah, I'm gonna be posting here. This is where all the real fans are. you know, over there they
The
still real
OGs,
fans, but people that moved on over here. This is
the
like,
ODs, the original donuts.
yeah, the original donuts, the ODs. And but I'm gonna keep posting here until then. And it's just like when you're building a YouTube, a lot of these people that came before me doing the truth content, they get up to 80,000, 100,000, and then their channel is gone. And now they got 10,000 subscribers. Like this channel has 10,000 subscribers. It's only got like 200 people viewing, but it'll probably get up there to 10,000 views or so. So starting over is very difficult. So it's better to have a newsletter if you are a YouTuber, to have these things in play, a backup channel, a YouTube. So this is good to just work on this for now, because if they take it down, it won't matter, and I won't have to start from scratch, and it's already hard.
Another suggestion that I would make to you, that on your main YouTube channel, on your about section, put a link in one of your top 3 or 4 links for this channel on there.
That's a good point.
And maybe even make a banner that says, and another thing, a couple people have mentioned, and I saw this too, on your new YouTube channel, it doesn't show the live stream. You got to go into your settings and like change that, the customization of what shows up on your home screen. So that way it shows up, because the way they've changed everything, unless you click on the live tab, you don't see that there's anything live.
That's
You
true.
also, I don't know if one of your mods got your spammer that's in here talking about.
Oh, hot girls.
Yeah, hot girls.
Ooh, hot, sexy girls.
I don't know if you have it. I
Picks
can't
for
see
me?
who is or isn't mods, but usually my people are on top of that. I didn't know if
I
you
blocked
had
it.
people deleted. Okay, cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
I know you like to be as wholesome as possible, and I know I've spoiled that a little bit on today's show, especially with the triangle talk, the secret pink triangle with the golden burning bush above it.
That was funny. That was good. Well, cool. I'll let you go. Much love to everybody. God bless you. It's Donut and
Rice.
rice, donut and rice. And
What up?
We'll be back soon. Much love.
Happy Turkey Day.
Happy Turkey Day.